Hi guys, welcome back to the Fastbreak. I'm hosting today. Unfortunately, Liz could not be with us today, even though I would have loved him here, considering this morning slash last night's game. But anyways, we have Brian Zabadi in the house. We have a very special Actually, no, let me introduce Shine first. Okay, we have Shine and Brian, whatever. And then a very special guest, GS Dub fan, Mbumi. Thank you, Mbumi. Actually, thank you for making time for us. Okay, guys, your mics are off.
Thanks
Good
for
to have
having
you
me.
here.
Unmute there.
Pleasure
Thank
to
you
have
for
you.
having me.
What's up? What's up? Goki, you're not gonna mention what I'm wearing? Doesn't matter to anybody?
Not
Yeah,
now,
we'll
Brian.
get there. We'll get there. We'll get. Yeah, another Laker fan is on the way. So yeah, Shah should
I
be
actually
joining
really
us.
needed Les here today.
Why? You
Yeah.
need some help. You need some help. Like your boy Steph Curry.
Wow.
Hectic. Let's just get into it, actually. Okay, I'm neutral. I've been in the playoffs, so I don't, this chat
You're really not
thing
neutral. If you're
does
being
not
honest,
concern
if you're
me.
being honest,
Don't get me started with you. Don't get me started with you.
exactly.
Shout out to LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, bro.
No,
I had my
wait,
doubts.
are we in? Like, I didn't even ask the
Yeah,
question. What are you answering, Brian?
We're in the fourth
Second,
quarter, like
Okay.
LeBron James. My bad, my bad.
All right,
Go
go on.
ahead.
GS Dub, Lakers, play-in tournament. I called it, by the way. I called it. Okay, not the GS Dub, but the fact that the Lakers are going to be in the play-in tournament, I called it. You guys looked at me like I was crazy. Oh, here I am.
we're not in the
Hmm.
playing tournament anymore. We're now in the playoffs to defend our title.
Yeah,
I don't
welcome,
know why
welcome.
you're acting like
Anyways,
Welcome
you
to
weren't
what?
to the
you
playoffs.
weren't
What do
in the
you mean?
play-in.
Well, if it's normal, NBA would have been in the playoffs. They brought out a new
Oh,
rule and they're
please.
still in the playoffs.
Oh, please. Anyways. Yeah, guys, let's just get into it. It was a close game, Some people thought halftime that, GSW might actually clinch the seventh spot. Mpumi, let's start with you. How do you feel about the game? How do you feel about your team? I know the next round you guys have the Grizzlies. But actually, before we get to the second round, how do you feel about your team and last night's game or this morning, really?
I am not mad at all. You know,
Oh, wow.
I thought the
That's
defense in the first half was incredible. It just we strung together so many brilliant moments that it gives me a lot of hope for the rest of the way. I don't expect us to win a championship, but I do expect us to do really well. Um, I think that I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Hey, Draymond was incredible. So I have to bring these up. But the Anthony Davis stats when Draymond was guarding him.
We'll get there. KKA. Hey.
No. Say it,
No, you
Mpumi.
have to like remind me, right?
Hey.
Anthony Davis
Oh,
overall had a brilliant game, but he struggled against Draymond. And so I have to say, especially on the defensive end, Steve Kerr's been saying all year
I
that
see
if
you,
the Warriors
Shaz.
are going to do well, it's going to have to be on the defensive end of the floor. And I thought we did well enough on the defensive end of the floor for a while. The turnovers in the third quarter, the fouling in the third quarter absolutely hurt us. But I'm not mad about last night's game at all.
I like that. And obviously, I think, guys, it was a very close game. Hey, considering the fact that the Lakers are so much better than the Warriors this season, I agree with you, Mpumi. But
the Warriors
I agree
suck.
with you.
Are the Warriors trash?
Exactly, and it was a close game. How
No,
crazy?
are the Warriors trash, Boomy? Is your team
No, they're not
trash?
trash, but like we've been saying the whole season, okay?
You
The
guys have
panel
a
has been
great
saying,
offensive. Okay,
I am
go
a
ahead.
Warrior faithful, so I'm never gonna think the Warriors are trash. I'm never gonna say to you the Warriors are trash.
I like that
But
about
you
you,
know
Pumi.
as well as I do. You know as well as I do that you guys have a better roster than we do. You know that. And first,
yes,
don't act like you don't know that and you haven't been saying that all year. You wouldn't even
exactly.
acknowledge a month ago that the Warriors were competing. And yet they ended up a
No,
spot
that's
behind the
not
Lakers.
true.
1 month ago, I can pull up the tweets, Brian. I said competing.
Please.
You said competing
Boomy,
for
did you
what?
just come here to choose violence? You just came here to choose
I like
violence?
Mpumi's
Your
energy.
It's a
response was competing
Yo,
for
look,
what?
you see what Bumi's doing to me? It's what happened in the first quarter where Golden State came out at 12.
Ah,
This is what she's doing. She's beating me down. Bumi, thank you for coming to the show, bro. How you been? Like, can we Take it easy, bro. Jeez. Shine, help me out here, bro.
Brian,
Help me out
you
here.
I'm not
choose
helping
violence
you, Brian.
every
I've
day.
also got a bone to pick with you. You know.
Oh, jeez. You too?
Why, guys? We're talking about. Why are you guys going after Brian? We're talking about the Lakers and GS Dub here.
What's Shine?
Let's go,
What did I
Shine.
do, Shine? Oh.
No. Let Brian speak. I mean, the man was, and also Pumi mentioned something very critical here that Anthony Davis, how you're shut down by Draymond Green. I think it goes beyond just that. He didn't just shut him down, like he really had him to a point where AD was turning the ball over, passing the ball back, even got a technical foul. Like, Draymond Green was not just on AD, but even overall, he was defending the pick and roll.
Yo, playoff Draymond. Playoff Draymond.
You see those stats? Still first half stats.
And yes,
Oh,
that's
man.
what I'm going to pick with you, Brian. I tweeted this. I said, do you guys think the Lakers are going to keep shooting at 30%? And your response was yes. It's even worse now. It's at 28%. You don't see them getting out of that slump.
I didn't say
You gotta
that.
have
I said
faith.
yes, I do. But
You gotta
they
have
shot 42%. No, hey, look. What I'm very vocal about for the longest time, I think all of you guys know, I think the Lakers have been playing bad basketball even in their 6-game stretch. I think we've been playing some
Bad
very
offense.
sub. Say again?
Bad offense, not defense.
Even the defense is shaky, my boy.
No.
Even the defense is shaky, hey? Here's
I
my
don't think
thing, right? In the first quarter, when Steph played the entire 12 minutes, he had a few shot attempts. I'm not sure what his numbers were. Maybe Pumi can throw that at me. But they were still in the lead. They were worried only about Steph and nobody else. When Steph took a break in the second quarter, everybody else was getting some shots up because now we could relax. I don't like that so much. You know, it wasn't like from jump till 48 we're playing hard defense. Sure, on Steph, everybody was locked in. But Ken Bazemore had 6 points in the first quarter. Come on, is that really great? You know what I mean? We're at risk of losing to a random player. Wiggins with a 40-point game, Bazemore with a 20. It was close. Shine doesn't acknowledge how close the game was. Shine feels like it was a blowout.
No. I do acknowledge how close the game was. Before I actually get to speak about the Lakers, there's one thing about the Warriors I haven't mentioned. I didn't think this team could play this level of defense, honestly speaking. And it's very scary, especially because people always say Steph Curry is not the defensive player. Sure, he's not. But the whole team, when those guys come out, they know, okay, we're going to give the ball to Steph. He's going to score. Wiggins will get us some points. But defensively, they were amazing. I mean, you saw those numbers. AD was 2 from 12.
Have they been that all year? Have they been like this all season? Or?
No, but that's the thing also. The Lakers haven't
absolutely
been this
not.
bad all season. The Lakers haven't been this bad all season, yet you're quick to highlight that. But the Warriors haven't been this good all season, but it's a good sign that they can play defense. It's a very good sign that they can play defense, in my opinion. And they don't just have to rely on everything coming from Steph Curry on offense or Draymond Green on defense. Andrew Wiggins came out. He was, in my opinion, he had a very good game on both ends of the floor. You know, so
he got a little shaky there down the stretch. In the fourth, Andrew he looked a little shy, right?
Well, he's never been this far in his career. He's never been this far in his career, so. But I mean, despite that, he still played well. I mean, he's playing against Go James, so you can imagine. I mean, I'm not gonna hold it against him.
Can I also just make a hell of a
block on LeBron?
You see what I mean? Okay, not only the block, he blocked him, and then the outside shot for LeBron to hit the back on a 180 shot. He had a good game, Brian. I'm not gonna hold anything against the Warriors.
I think he had a great game. He played above what's expected of him because the points average might have been the same, but his defensive presence in the first half before he had a big part to play in LeBron James 1 for 7 or whatever that was. But to be honest, I really do believe that Golden State could have and should have won that game. Really, I feel like Golden State, we weren't there. Hey, I really feel like it was a bunch of 50-50 possessions kind of dictated the rest of the game.
Wait, Brian, can I ask you something?
Sure.
So do you think they could have won because of how good they are or because of how bad the Lakers are?
Golden State, I think they could have won because of how bad the Lakers are. I don't think Golden State is a better team than LA, but right now, the Andre Drummond experiment is failing, my guy. He didn't play much in the fourth quarter. I think did he even step on the floor in the fourth? He's really, really, really not. Why is his pants so small, man? Anyway. The experiment didn't go well. I think we're losing minutes on Marc Gasol, who's got a high IQ. He might have got body of those kinds of things. But the Lakers aren't looking good. In 4 games, I picked the Lakers against anybody in the West except Luka. In 1 game, it's a roll of a dice.
But just to tell you guys, I'm never on the fence about anything, especially when it comes to basketball. There's one name, I believe it, and one name only.
Where's your crown?
Oh my god. No, you didn't.
They're showing the shot.
Let the crown show. Let the crown show.
I've got a shout out for Leslie about that jumper. I've got a big shout out to Dries. You know how the talk is always the best player gonna take the best shot. I think a lot of people feel like that. The best player gonna take the game-winning shot. Don't give it up. Does the best player have to be the one to defend that? Because that was Steph Curry, and you saw what happened to him. Is that the same expectation?
You don't
not necessarily.
That Steph is the best defensive player out there. Because Steph is not the best defensive player. You're never going to.
LeBron James is not the best 3-point shooter. Why does he get flagged for giving the ball up to Ray Allen or Kai Korver? You know what I mean?
Steph has played really good defense this year. Compared to other years, Steph's played really solid
defense. That's true. That's very true.
But I don't expect Steph to guard the last shot, right? Because you have defensive guys for that. Steph's job's on the offensive end of the floor most of the time. He has
I agree with him, Bumi.
Come on, basketball doesn't know
you want him to carry the entire no, but you want him to carry the. Come on, Shine, you're a coach. You want him to carry the offense
because your switches. He found himself that he had to play defense. I don't blame him though. I mean, he tried.
His hands were here. He was here.
You can't expect that from him. You can't expect that from him.
Even if his hands were up,
unrealistic.
Also, it was a bad shot. It really was a bad shot. Look at the distance. It was just, it was a bad shot.
That's also being unnoticed. If LeBron James had turned that ball over like Steph did, where he couldn't catch it for that final couple of seconds.
Exactly. Faru, I'm with you.
There was
no foul there? There was no foul?
Oh, foul?
When?
There was a no catch. That's what I can tell you. There was a no catch.
Who fouled him?
Okay. Oh, someone.
It's Boo, no. Okay, I agree with Boo. Like,
that's a real fact.
Who fouled
him? Anyway, but look, nonetheless, one thing I also want to talk about.
Who? AD.
He was draped all over him. Draped all over him.
I will personally send you the video because I analyze that thing over and over again from different angles. I will send you the video of AD not fouling him.
Okay.
Time, I have a question for you and your love for Anthony Davis, bro.
Yes. 25 and 12 and the W. What's up?
When Draymond was guarding him.
If Nick, who's the best power forward in the
game
NBA?
is not when Draymond guards, it's when the 48 minutes. In 48 minutes, he came on 25 points, 12 rebounds. Who's what?
Who's the best power forward in the NBA?
Skills-wise, I think it's AD.
Why is 25 and 12 a great game for you? If he's the best at his position.
It's not a great game necessarily, Brian. It was a bad game for the whole of the Laker team. But for him to come out of that slump, where he had 5 points in the first half and end the game with 25 points and 12 rebounds, I think it's good enough.
AD could not make a shot where he made his own possession. What he needs from New Orleans, he needs LeBron James to babysit him to the hoop. He needs Dennis Schroeder to hit him with a hoop pass. Why can't Anthony Davis take over anything anymore?
Brian, you know, you're very
up to get him.
Whoa. I'll tell you one thing, Brian. Sure, LeBron really does make Anthony Davis look good because LeBron's present. He's able to pass the ball. He's able to make plays. The problem the Lakers had when LeBron was injured, and even worse when Schroeder was out. We didn't have playmaking abilities. You know, you take Joel Embiid right now. He's not going to be the player he is without someone to play make. You know what I mean? And AD, sure, he can get his shots up. He can play defense and do all of that, but there's only so much he can do.
All right.
I'm not saying this game was a great game, but you have games as a basketball player where you just have to grind it out. Honestly, you're not going to have... Even LeBron dropping 22 points in this game is not impressive. You know, but you have games where you have to really grind it out.
36 years old getting a triple-double. What do you mean that's not impressive?
I'm going to tell you, Brian, my issue with you guys is the level you guys expect from LeBron is different from what I expect from him. I expect LeBron every single game to be the best player on the court and always to win the game. If he doesn't do that, for me, he has fallen short. 22 points
How
is
long
low.
are you waiting?
22 points is 5 points lower than his career
You
average.
see why LeBron James aren't all
No.
LeBron James fans aren't all LeBron James fans, because some of us are just
I give him
Wait.
this is me
I have a-
criticizing LeBron, telling him that
Wait,
22
wait.
points is not enough. I expected
I have
better
a
from him.
question from Bumi.
If LeBron had gone 4 for 7 in the first half like he normally does, it would have been an easier game. That's all I'm saying. Never mind Anthony Davis, LeBron James.
That's
If he had
fair.
less turnovers also, it would have been a different game. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. That's fair. I have a question from Bumi though. Bumi,
Mhm.
you know, we've heard a lot about GSW from you. How do you feel about the Lakers, how they played against you guys?
So it was always going to be tough for the Lakers, right? I mean, think about how many games they've played together. They have been plagued with injuries. I was a little afraid going into the game, but to be honest, they're not playing their best basketball right now. But I really think everyone else should be afraid going forward of both teams. I think that the Warriors aren't going to make a deep run this year, but both teams are frightening right now in how they're playing. You know, you have teams
Yeah.
who start out having a great season, but towards the end of it, they're kind of dying out. And then you have teams who pick up their momentum towards the end of the season. But I also think that's why, for us, the Nuggets are a better matchup than the Suns. Because the Suns started out having a worse season, and now they're playing really good basketball.
Am I crazy for thinking Golden State can win that? Am I crazy? If
I
they
think
fall to
Golden
No.
State could win that.
I agree with you, Brian. You're
I mean,
not
I always
crazy at
think we
all.
can win it. So, but I do.
But
I
the
think we have a legitimate
The Warriors
shot.
first
I
have
think
to
we have a
get through
legitimate shot.
Jazz. The Warriors
No,
first
I
have to
think
get
Golden State can beat the Jazz. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I think if
yeah,
Golden
the
State
Jazz.
they can beat the Jazz.
I
I
honestly
think we
believe
can.
in my heart of hearts, the conference finals could be Warriors-Lakers. In my heart of hearts.
I'm trying to say that.
Wo-
That's what I'm saying.
That's my dream.
I really think
And I
it
would
could be
be
We
Warriors-Lakers.
might see it.
I'd be happy
I
to
am
lose.
saying the same thing for so long. Golden State is such a good basketball team. Look, here's the thing about having young pieces, right? They make bad decisions, and a bad decision is very easily seen as a bad basketball player. A la Russell Westbrook. You know? Everybody hates him because he's a bad basketball player because he makes bad decisions. Having a bunch of young players on your team is never a bad thing when they're all higher in the draft class. You know what I mean? They're slowly going to develop, slowly going to get the hang of it. And they're going to start making the right decisions. Jordan Poole, these guys are coming together. I really believe Golden State can be the deep run.
Let me
I
tell
think the
you.
only real threats in the West, Golden State, Lakers, Dallas. I don't see the Clippers. Go ahead and boom.
I was gonna say to you,
Well,
Brian,
only
it's
one
the
of
same
them can
thing,
go
right?
through anyway.
Yeah, but last night I thought Jordan Poole took too many shots down the stretch. But I'm also not mad at it because I know he's learning from that experience. And rather you have him take that many shots down the stretch and miss them
No.
in a play-in game, than you have him
Exactly.
do that a series from now, right? So as mad as I was in the moment, I was like, Jordan's taking too many shots. I'm like, that's actually great. It's great experience from him. It's great that he's taking those shots right now because when we need him to actually make them, he's gonna make them.
Yeah, he's got to get it in. I really believe that. I agree with you. I think the more shots, and also they all have a fallback game. Sure, you know,
Oh
but
shit.
you also want to leave the whole workload on Steph and Curry. You don't want to leave Steph Curry to do everything. And I think them taking shots because Steph was getting the most double teams, I think the most
Yeah.
effective double teams all season. I really believe that's when it gave the other guys an opportunity to shoot, and they had to knock those shots down. And that first quarter gave them a lot of hope and belief that actually, if we just hit our shots, we can beat this team. But I think Golden State at this level and the Lakers playing at a subpar level, I agree, are still the most frightening teams in the West. But that Luka Doncic factor, man.
You know, my thing with the Luka Doncic factor is they have to grind it out against the Clippers. I know last season we said if maybe what's his name, KP hadn't gotten ejected and hadn't gotten injured, would have been a different thing. But
Yeah.
right, I'm not just gonna say it's gonna be an easy ride for them. It's gonna be a tough matchup against the Clippers. That's all I'm saying. And the Clippers could come out on top. You know, because now they've got another leader in Rajon Rondo, which is much different to what they had last season. You know, although my only concern is they lost the closer in Lou Williams. So if the game goes if the game is on the line, I mean,
He's playing some top 10 basketball. He's hitting some shots, but it's the player.
he still has to show
I
it to
don't
me.
trust.
But I just
I don't trust the
can't.
Clippers. I don't trust
I'll
the
say
Clippers.
this though. as any team, I would rather play the Clippers than Dallas.
Than Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
true.
I've been
it's
saying
something
exactly.
scary about Dallas, man.
I want nothing
There's
to do
something
with Dallas.
scary about
Yeah,
them.
rather the Clippers. Yo, guys,
I'd rather the
Clippers.
Clippers beat them, and we don't have to face them ever again, than have to come up against Dallas. Dallas is scary.
Yeah,
But the thing about Dallas is that the role players know how to play the role. From role player number 1 till the last role player, they all know how to play the role. You know, you're coming in the year 3 and D guy, you're gonna do just that. If you know you're just gonna get the ball, rebound, catch alley-oops, you do just that. It's a very well coached team.
yeah, but then what about the leaders of the team?
Oh,
You know
Luka
what I mean?
balling, no ways.
What do you?
Oh yeah,
What
wait,
about
are you talking? Wait, are you talking about Dallas? I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about
I'm
the
talking
Clippers. I was
about
going to be
Dallas.
like,
Why
wait.
Dallas is scary is
Oh
because
no, Dallas is no, Dallas is solid.
and the role players are doing their job.
Koki, Koki, you and your Clippers, you know, y'all
Stop it!
and some
Stop
more
it!
stuff.
Stop it! Stop it!
Y'all got
Stop
Luka
it,
to the
dude!
ground.
Dude, look at this! Look at this! This is my team.
Look at the problem. Luka, dude, he's such a game breaker. He's the biggest difference between a win and a loss in the NBA at this moment. I think him and maybe James Harden, but this dude is a big problem. And I think if he faces the Lakers with KP, I don't believe it's a walkover. I believe Luka could do something.
Yeah.
But you also hope
I believe
Luka's
Luka
grown
can
though,
do
right?
something, but the Lakers will still win. That's just me.
Yeah,
As long
I mean,
as
LeBron James can't lose in your mind.
Yo,
as long as this guy's
you
playing,
bronze
the Lakers.
sexuals are exhausting. Bronze sexuals
Every
are
I don't know why
time.
you guys are
So-
so mad that I'm supporting my guy
Listen,
who's winning.
what
I'm
I was
defending
saying-
champion. Finals MVP. Those guys.
What I was
he's got
saying
it
to
for
you
it.
though is that you hope that Luka's grown, right? Because there were games last year in the playoffs where you saw Luka behave like a child, where he was being
Yeah,
patient
that's
and
every
he was
single
letting
game
his
this season.
emotions overcome him. So you're hoping that, like, in the playoff situation, that he's grown from a year ago. Because there was a lot of times you saw him and you were like, this guy's amazing. But he's behaving like he's 19, he's 20 years old.
Because he idolizes LeBron James. That's why. He idolizes LeBron James. And LeBron James
The wrong guy.
LeBron James
But also-
and he said, yesterday he said he got an elbow to the face. We saw the replay. We know
But
LeBron
also-
didn't get touched.
But also, Mpumi, you mentioned how
Yeah.
we're just hoping Luka has grown. Because if you look at that Clippers team, a guy like Rondo will get to your head. A guy like Pat Bev will also get to you. So let's hope that he's mature enough to be able to withstand that, because the guys are going to try to get at him. Because you take Luka out the game, they're done.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. I watched Luka play some points in the playoffs last year, and I was like, that guy needs a psychologist. Like, I'm biased because I'm a
You guys watched his
psychologist, but
game
I looked at him play,
you
and
up
I
for
was
it?
like, Luka, no thanks. But I was like, Luka needs to get rid of some behavior that he's exhibiting while in game and under pressure.
All right. Actually, how do we get to Luka and Dallas? Oh, we're talking
we're
about the
talking
conference finals.
Conference final, Lakers
With,
versus
yeah,
the
exactly.
Warriors.
Talking about the
He
conference.
found us on the fast break. Luka can find you anywhere he found us on the fast break. I don't think Luka will struggle that much in the double teams because he can find anybody almost anywhere like LeBron James can. He's tall enough to throw it over somebody. So I think he'll be fine. I think Dallas is going to do great in the playoffs. And versus the Clippers, Dallas in 6. Dallas in 6.
I
said
never
Dallas in
agree
7.
with you, Brian, but I do now. I
I
actually
said
do agree
Dallas
with
in
you.
7. Simply because the Clippers will really fight this time around because they don't want to go out like they did last season. They're going to lose to the Dallas, in my opinion, but it's not. I say 7.
All right, write it
Mpumi,
down.
what
I'm
do you
going
say?
Clippers in 7.
Clippers. Oh, the Dallas.
They
I don't
melt when it
trust
comes to the
I don't trust them, but there's something about Luka's personality.
and they've got a
something
chip
about
on their shoulder. They've been playing
Luka
very
being a
well
child.
quietly. They've been playing
And also,
very well.
Exactly.
Should rather have Warriors face Clippers than Warriors face Dallas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay,
I don't want to see
so-
Dallas. Did you see the last game we played against them? No, I do not want to
Yeah,
see
that was a
Dallas.
blowout. That was a blowout. Luka did the most.
Got killed.
The problem with-
Wait, so are we saying that? Wait, are we saying that Golden State is going to beat the Grizzlies? Brian, Steph, Ja? Yes.
Jackie, man.
No.
Come closer to the camera. Come
No.
closer to the camera.
Adam
No,
Silver
I'm
is not allowed. Even if the
I'm
Warriors
saying
come
Golden
back,
State is getting eliminated.
Adam
from
Silver
the
will not allow that.
playoff. Golden State got a lifeline,
Whoa, that
Then
is
they got another lifeline.
brave.
and they're out. I
Wait.
don't believe they're going to overcome. I think Steph Curry, I think the clip is empty. I think the clip is empty for Steph Curry in the next game. I don't think he has a great game like he's been doing. I think he'll take the shots, but I think from what I know about Steph Curry in bigger games, it's kind of a different. I don't believe in this game.
No,
That's just my
Brian,
crazy.
stop.
Wait, what?
Listen,
Don't embarrass
it's not
yourself,
even that I'm
Brian.
mad.
Stop
I
embarrassing
thought
yourself.
Golden State and Steph Curry would beat the Lakers. I still thought, I really did believe that. Right now, I don't believe that
State will
Golden
take
State will
Memphis, man.
win. I think Steph Curry won't come. I don't think he'll drop
No.
the
You don't think the Warriors can
Brian,
beat
what are you
Memphis?
saying? What are you saying? Are you saying the Grizzlies are going to beat the Warriors? I just need just a short
Yeah.
statement. No, say it,
Yeah.
like a full sentence, please.
I think the Grizzlies will
Give
advance.
this man his
and
own
take-
show. Give this man his own show.
I believe that. No, I could be wrong. That's what I think. I thought the
Baby,
Lakers
how do you
would
feel
win.
about this?
I think Brian is being a Skip Bayless right now. He is just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what will stick.
Bet money.
Because
Bet
there
money.
is no
Brianism.
ways.
Bet money.
I am here for it. It's Brianism. How much money would you like to put on it, Brian?
Brianism.
I am here to put money on it. How much?
No, dude, this is gambling. We do not
Oh,
promote any gambling on the show.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit
this
you
is
up
what I'm
after.
saying.
I'm gonna text you.
It's
No, bro, that's just how I feel. Huh?
Brianism.
I think Steph Curry is great. I think Steph Curry is in the top 5 MVP conversation. I just think the next game, I think the clip will be empty. I just have a feeling. I'm definitely I could be wrong. I really didn't think that he would put up the way he did last night, and he did.
But
But
I think this Warriors team
We
has had
just
enough
talked
time
about the
to adjust.
Warriors.
The Warriors have had enough time to adjust to allowing Steph Curry to be the best Steph Curry version of him. You see how he's been transforming throughout the season. They were getting to know what it would be like. But I think
Memphis, which is the better
Memphis
basketball
is
team,
coming
Memphis
back.
or Golden State?
Golden
Golden
State.
State.
Come
It's not
on.
even
Well, now they're
But-
good. Well, now Golden State is
but-
good. Both of them are
I
bad.
hear what Brian is saying. I hear what Brian is saying about it's not going to be easy, obviously, but Warriors, man.
Yeah, Sean, what are you saying? Surely Warriors, right?
Yeah, I'm look, I love.
And it's
Steph
one
Curry.
game. You see, if it was a series, then come
If
on,
it was a
guys.
series,
And
I
on
would
top
back
of it,
Stephen
Memphis
Curry.
has to win 2
If
games,
it was
Brian.
a series, I would
Memphis has
back.
to
Is
win
it
2
2 games?
games. Yeah.
Oh, you see, this is the problem with this play, and it's such a mess that I don't even know how it works. So Golden State needs a one
No,
and
it's
done.
one
Memphis needs
game.
to
He's
win.
saying no. He's saying it's 2 games because Memphis had to win the other night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one game.
They
But
had
yeah, guys,
to win the other night to get it in. It's one game.
If it's
If
just
it
one
was a
game,
series, right?
if
If it
it's
was
just
4
one
games,
game, I think
if it was 4
obviously
games, I'll give it to Stephen Curry. In one game, I have to say, roll the dice, and I think Stephen Curry played his ass off yesterday. I think Memphis
You
took
don't
some
think
notes on how
Steph
to
can
guard
play
him,
his
right?
ass off with a day's rest?
honestly, he's
Come
an
on.
MVP. He's a 3-time final,
He's been
3-time
doing
champion.
it all
Surely he
season.
knows
Come
this,
on.
man.
two back to
Yo,
back.
I said Luka would beat Clippers last year. I was wrong. I said Stephen Curry wouldn't play great this season. I was wrong. I
You
could be wrong.
been
Just-
wrong.
So bet on the. So then I'm happy for you to bet on the Grizzlies. Go ahead.
Also, I just have one thing to
You
say.
can
though.
get your backing.
Hey,
I just have one thing to say. Having watched the Warriors play the Grizzlies the last time, at some stage I was bored of it because the Warriors are up by quite a margin, and then before you know it, the Grizzlies are up 2, and their best player, who was guarding Steph when Steph went 1 for 7, Dylan Brooks, got fouled out eventually. I think he's gonna come back a much smarter player, and he's probably gonna be a better.
that Dylan Brooks kid leads the NBA in total fouls committed this season. That kid is
Yes, I know
he's
that.
there to foul. He's there to
Yes,
foul.
but-
That's what he does.
That's exactly my point. If he somehow learns how to play better, to not foul, because his 6th foul was a silly foul. If he somehow learns not to foul, I think we could have a real game in our hands. Honestly, it's going to be a good game, though. I don't think it's
You
going to
think-
be a blowout.
You think he's learned that in 2 weeks? In a week and a half?
I agree.
No one's learning
Wait.
curve is that sharp. But also, wait.
That's
I
fair.
have to say, my favorite guy right now on the Golden State Warriors after Steph, guys, John Toscano Anderson.
Toscano,
is a
Toscano.
freaking beast. That man's energy levels are insane. He changes the game. Every time he
Yeah.
steps on the floor, he changes the
Yeah.
game. It's ridiculous to watch that man play.
I was
That's
worried
the thing.
some random Golden State player off the bench would knock down 20 points and shock us. That's what I was worried about. And that guy hit some big shots and he had some very big defensive plays.
But that's
He's
the thing
good.
Guys,
about having these young
guys,
players who are actually good, because these young players who are good they have nothing to
They
lose. They don't have
develop. They get better and better on a
better.
daily basis. Every single
Exactly. And the
game,
inner
they get
system
better.
also, I mean, I've always doubted Steve Kerr's coaching ability, but I mean, you've got to give him
mm,
that for the adjustments he's made.
Today, I doubt Steve
yo,
Kerr's coaching
Listen,
ability. That man had Steph and
I doubt
Draymond
his.
when LeBron and AD brought the team back within one. What is he doing?
And also, they took
There was
he took
there
7
was a
seconds to
time.
call a timeout at the end. You know,
Yeah,
No, he
when
was not
that's
trying. That man was at half court. But
seven,
there
Yeah,
was
no,
a
he
time
can't.
during the season where he was playing Carrot Top more minutes than Jordan Poole and JTA, and I could not watch. I was so angry.
Yeah, y'all
I
gotta
was like,
trade
"What are
that
you
man.
doing?"
And also,
He
Carrot Top,
blew
I feel like that's
a
racist.
he blew a bunch of games, like playing. I don't know what his name is. I refuse to say his name because I don't know it. But
Is he a good coach? Is he really a Hall of Fame coach, or do you just have a Hall of Fame roster? To be honest, because
I
Mark
don't think
Jackson,
he had
I
a
mean,
Hall of Fame roster necessarily, because he somewhat had to contribute, because Steph and Clay were very good already and Draymond, but they were not the winners they became. You got to give him some credit at some stage. That's what I
yeah,
think.
I mean, he kicked the team up a notch. Mike Jackson was doing a great job with the team, but when Steve Kerr came, he kicked the team up a notch, and that's how they became a championship team. So you have to
Exactly.
give him credit. I mean, he has a
there's
great
something for
staff. I'll
managing
tell you that.
personality, right? There's definitely something for
Yeah,
managing personality and bringing guys to work together.
Yeah, and he has a
Uh,
great staff around
Bro,
him,
boo,
right? Part of being
boo,
a
bro.
good
yeah,
head coach.
bro, honestly.
Mbumi, can you talk to your colleague? Can you talk to your guy?
No, I am not. I'm gonna leave him alone.
Steve Kerr isn't coaching, is a courtside fan.
Courtside fan, getting VIP seats.
But I did question Steve Kerr when Steph was injured 2 seasons ago and KD had that issue with Draymond Green. I did question his leadership there and how he's going to handle the situation, and he failed. I don't think he handles the situation well. He says a lot of things in the media also regarding his own team where it's somewhat questionable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen, I think that there are times where he has been questionable. There's definitely times where Steve Kerr's been questionable. But I also don't think, like, no one is Pop, right? Like, we don't think anybody else is perfect. For me, like, Pop is the gold standard in
Even
coaching.
Pop is having his struggles, man. Even Pop was going through the
Yeah.
most.
That's
Who
true.
do you guys have? I
So-
guess San Antonio is out. I guess. Hey, it's
They're
what's going on
out.
in the
Yeah,
East?
they're gone.
There's some things happening in the East. Your boy Jason Tatum with the 50 piece.
That was
Yo,
impressive.
Jason Tatum went bananas.
Yeah, that was
50
impressive.
and he looked good the entire game. Like he really wanted the ball. He looked for it. He made every single position. Don't you miss when LeBron James could do something like that? That's also why I shine. I feel like you're praising LeBron James. Relax, bro. That man.
But Brian, I literally just said 22 points is not impressive because I expected more. Now you're telling me.
I'm damn impressed with 22 points from LeBron. But back to
Listen,
JT,
lay off
bro.
LeBron.
Do you know that the Lake? Just a side note to whoever don't know, the Lakers chose Alonzo Ball at 2, and your boy JT with that smooth-looking jumper went 3 to the Boston Celtics. Look what we gave them.
At the time, I would have chosen Lonzo too.
Oh, Alonzo was
You have
great
to
in college.
understand.
Oh, Alonzo.
Yeah, but also,
hey, Alonzo was a Laker. He was
apart
born
from
to be a
great in
Laker.
college, the narrative was great, right? Hometown,
Yeah,
LA
yeah.
boy. Like, at the end
Should
of
have
the day,
gotten
if you're
Darren
gonna
Fox
sell a-
rather even.
No, if you're gonna sell a franchise, part of the franchise story is the story you're telling about who
And he
you're
was
bringing
damn
in.
marketable at that stage in his life. Like he was a
Yeah, he
media.
was.
Yeah.
I would have picked him as well. I mean, that's also why the JTA story is great, right? Because he went to Castro Valley High. He's an Oakland kid playing for the Warriors. Like, at the end of the day, there are some times where you pick the narrative.
Yeah, but I mean,
But that's how LeBron James win number
back
one.
to Jason Tatum, that game, I
Sometimes
think
it's
Bradley
rigged.
Beal
Sometimes I feel like this stuff is rigged. The way the right people just end up in the right city, or it just sometimes it feels like it's way too perfect, and your boy's in the back making a phone call.
But I mean, that's why.
Listen, GMs make rubbish decisions though as well.
But I'm just saying, back to the Boston game, I thought Bradley Beal looked off, as if he wasn't ready, as if, he he was forced to somewhat play. He didn't play like the Bradley Beal we know.
Isn't
And
he
I
But
can
even Russ,
Yeah, we know what happens to
Russ
Russ in
was
the big
not
time.
great at all. Russ had a
Yeah.
shocking game.
But I expected Bradley Beal to drop at least regular season numbers, 31 points.
You weren't even close.
He had like what 20 something, but not like I expect at least your average. It's a big game. You know what I mean?
When AD
Like
scores
Steph Curry
24,
lost.
it's okay.
Steph
When
Curry
AD
lost,
scores
but he
24,
went
it's okay. But when
36.
Bradley Beal can't score 31, it's a problem. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, Shine.
I love
I
to
think
see
those-
your Lakers fans going at it. It's my favorite thing to see the Lakers
Right
fans
now,
going at it.
bro, I think I'm the only person in the world who's worried about how the Lakers are playing, how the Lakers aren't putting up, and how the Lakers are kind of. I think in 4 games, it's tough to beat us. Sharp. The way we're playing, though, hi, my man. In the East, if we get the Bucks or whatever team we get in the East, I think we're in some kind of trouble because I think maybe it's the rust. I think Dennis being out of the game for 14 days or AD still. Shine, is AD injured or is AD okay? Is AD playing?
AD is good.
Okay, so with AD being a shell of himself and LeBron James being, the best he can be on whatever he's. This Drummond guy, also, that's another story for another day. I think the Lakers are. I don't even feel like our rotations are set yet. We've been playing Ben McLemore for the past couple of games. All of a sudden, we went to Wes Matthews and he sort of came through for us out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I feel like we're still trying to figure it out and we're in the playoffs and one of the kind of answers. I understand the
But I think
injuries,
there's also one thing we always
I'm
forget
mad.
as fans. We don't get to see what things are like at practice. That's the biggest thing. So we don't get to see that. What players are doing at practice. I mean, if every day at practice, Brian, I'm locking you down every day, making the shots over you. When the game comes, coach won't necessarily remember what you did for us 2-3 weeks ago. He's gonna see what he knows right now.
But I also
Yeah,
think,
fair
Brian,
enough.
that's the reasons you're speaking about why you should be worried are exactly why you shouldn't be worried, right?
Exactly.
Because this is a Lakers squad that hasn't got its rotation down, that hasn't had all its key players playing together for too long. So actually, you have a great amount of time to learn, right? And you're only gonna get better as the playoffs go. And I agree. I don't think a team's beating the Lakers in a 7-game series, but you're gonna get better. It's gonna get easier to watch, and it's gonna get better.
But also,
Shine,
even
how long do you think you've been saying what Mbumi just said as far as we're going to get better?
I've not been saying that all season. But also look at the obstacles we've had all season. The minute we get some sort of momentum going, one player goes down. We get it back, another player goes down.
Bro, LeBron James busy in the club with Drake or had a group. Shouldn't he be quarantined? What's
Hey,
going
listen,
on?
bro, this guy, he delivered.
That man
That
is
should be in
grown,
a
Brian.
He wouldn't do that. He
That man
probably
is
had all the
grown.
guys
He knows how to do
vaccinated
his
or
job.
isolated.
Also, no one tells you how to sleep the night before
And
you go
also,
to
it's
work.
LeBron
Chill
James.
out.
And no way LeBron James wasn't playing in that game. They couldn't allow it. They had to tape up his ankle and make sure he was good to go. He had to play that game.
I just want to ask you guys now, who do you have in the Eastern Conference, Knicks and Hawks, in the first round?
I'm going
Yo,
next.
what a matchup. What a matchup. I'm going Atlanta. Hot Atlanta.
Easily next.
Hot Atlanta.
My
Easily.
boy, RJ Barrett.
I stray, my boy. I stray. It's cold out. It's
I
cold
won't
out.
lie, Brian. I'm often with you, but I mean, I gotta take it to. I'm going to put me on this side. It's gotta be the Knicks, man.
The Knicks are going to be blinded by the
Trey
bright
is
lights
the-
in the playoffs. They ain't been in a while. They don't
Listen,
know
Brian,
what it's like.
When
I'm
was
old enough
Atlanta
to
there?
I'm old enough
This
to
Atlanta
remember
team.
when they tried to tell me Trey was better than Luka.
I'll never forgive the people who said that. I will
People said
never
that?
Me too.
Yes.
Yes.
When
going into
they're trying
the
to figure
draft,
out who Rookie of the Year was.
yeah,
I will never
going into
forgive
the
them.
draft for Rookie of the Year, I will
I
never.
don't think I had
I'm old enough to
internet.
remember.
I don't think
I
I
will
did.
never-
I think my internet was broken at that stage because I would have burnt the world down. That was ridiculous. Who did they choose? They chose, who's that kid at Sacramento? Marvin Bagley III over Luka Doncic.
That's the same guy whose dad went on social media saying that the Sacramento King should release his son. Because he said there's no winning there in Sacramento.
So who do you guys
But
have
you
in
know
the East? Just
also-
What's the matchup in
And
the
then the
East?
Bucks in Miami? Bucks in Miami?
Bucks, Miami.
I'm going Miami.
You guys get mad at me for saying Memphis. You guys want to go Miami?
I'm going Miami.
What?
Miami?
There's something about it, bro.
Bucks. Bucks in 4. 5.
I think
Bucks in
Bucks.
5.
The reason
Miami
I'm saying
in
Bucks
6.
is simply because
Wait, can we get this written down? Like, I'm gonna need to
No.
come back.
We're gonna have
in
a
6.
clip of this. We're gonna have a clip of this and we're gonna play it on the internet. So when you want it, you can just search. You can find it. It's gonna be there.
Miami in
But
6.
I think Bucks simply because the main reason Bucks was let down last year was Giannis, obviously not being the play he's going to be this season, and also they didn't have a proper point guard. They had what's his name, Eric Bledsoe, and Eric Bledsoe we know is not Drew Holiday, So I think Bucks on this one.
That's a great question. So I didn't even know Miami was doing anything in the NBA.
I can't.
That's not true, right?
Well, they did better than the Lakers. They made the playoffs straight.
Sorry?
In the East.
They
Do
actually
you know who else
made
they
the
did better
playoffs.
than? You know who else they did better than? Golden State.
Oh, I'm not denying it. I never said Golden State was gonna have a better season than Miami.
You remember when last year when everybody
Lakers
said that
defending
the
champs
Portland
and all.
Trailblazers are the scariest number 8 seed in the history of basketball? Look at the Lakers at 7. There's never been a scarier team so high up in the Clippers out here ducking and diving. All these dudes trying to throw some games because nobody wants it.
Listen, that Clippers stuff is ridiculous.
Do you think they tanked that game?
Yeah, they did.
Fine.
They absolutely tanked, and it sends
Fine.
such a bad message, right? Like
It sends a
you're
Kawhi
running.
message.
Like, why are you running?
But also, it's gonna be worse now if they lose to if they get knocked out by Dallas. Then it's like you could have avoided this. All you had to do was beat the Rockets and beat OKC.
I don't know if I'd choose Dallas over the Lakers, to be completely honest. If I had a choice in life, I'd take the Lakers if I was the Clippers. Dallas. Dallas.
Smooth, I'm gonna need you to relax.
Mabuda, also, dog. What do you mean, bro? We'll have to mute. We have to mute Mabuda. Now we're just out of line. So Wizards Pacers, who do you guys have?
The other question is how many games do you think it'll take the Brooklyn Nets to knock out the Boston Celtics?
Oh, I actually no, Brian, no. Respect.
Sleep. Brian calls to sleep.
40.
No,
So
for
what
real?
are you saying?
Who's gonna say 5?
Yeah, gentlemen sweep.
No, I see 4. I see a proper sweep here.
Seriously,
They're
no,
too
it's
stacked.
a gentleman's sweep.
No,
I'm gonna give the Celtics one.
They don't have Jaylen Brown on top of
not
that.
even a good defensive team. That's the biggest problem. It's not even like that they're gonna lock down anything. They just happen to play a very bad offensive team last night. But KD, there's too much offense that side. There's too many open shooters. 4 games. The Brooms.
Thank you, Sadie. I agree. 5. You got to give Jason Tatum 1 game, guys. You have to give him 1 game.
Okay.
He's gonna ball out, but they'll still lose.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you got to give him 1 game. You don't think he can win 1 game?
You drop 15 a playing game. Not everybody's worried about what you can do. You 15 a playing game.
Exactly.
Now we're all concerned about with the double team or give you the Steph Curry treatment.
And I mean, he played Russell Westbrook in the basically in a playoff game. That's what it was. Russell Westbrook doesn't perform well in that situation. Sorry, Brian. I know you look touched by
That's a mistake. Russell MVP Westbrook. Dog, say it right. Don't be. Hey.
Russell regular season MVP Westbrook. Russell regular season MVP Westbrook. No, it's not.
Oh, it would be Brooklyn versus Wizards if Russell Westbrook falls to 8th, huh?
No, it'll be Brooklyn. No, it'll be 76ers versus Wizards.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, anyways, Russell is going home in a week and a half.
He just extended his stay by another week.
That's literally all he did.
Wins. If he wins, he extends it by another week. Then he goes home. He might as well go on holiday early. Get that extra rest.
And also, they're playing the Pacers. The Pacers aren't exactly a pushover. You know what I mean? So they've got Hart. They've got some ballers.
Isn't exactly a pushover, my bro. He's a real guy. That's a real dude. Show some
This is a
respect.
playoff, right? This is a playoff.
So I think what I've been thinking the most about, who do you guys have as the Western Conference finalists? Who do you have as the Eastern Conference finalists? Because I really feel like when I look at all 8 on each conference, well, all potential 8, I really feel like each series could be a really, really, really big contention. Miami Bucks in the first round is Buck. Atlanta, New York in the first round is Buck. Golden State or Utah or Memphis versus Utah in the first round. It's got some, it's got a little bit of a bite to it. I really feel like everywhere in the NBA, it's kind of happening. Who do you have in the Western Conference as finalists? And that'll all just be Game 7.
I'm gonna call it. I think it's gonna be. I want it to be the Warriors and Lakers, but it's gonna be Dallas and Lakers.
You seem to understand the route or the seeding better, because I think you already know that they won't meet if they're ever going to meet each other. It's going to be in the conference finals.
Yeah, 7 and
Same
8
with the
can't
Clippers.
meet till the conference finals.
Oh, same thing with. Okay, I guess. Well, 7 and 8 are going to eliminate each other, so they can never meet. Oh no, it's 1.
So they can only meet in the finals.
Y'all
One
gotta
plays
teach me.
8, so they're on different ends of the bracket, right? It's the same way 1 and 2 can't meet till the final. 7 and 8 can't meet till the final.
Because they would ultimately.
Oh, there it is.
Management. You know.
Portland
But I want that.
and your boys Denver. Oh man.
I said Portland.
Man. Oh
I'll
man.
say Portland. Because you
Is
take
that
it back.
because
Remember
your boys injured, or is that because it's
2 seasons
that's
ago,
your
it was
boys
Portland,
injured?
Denver. It was Portland, Denver 2 seasons ago, and they went to like quadruple overtime. You know, and it was that crazy game. So I think it's gonna happen again. But only difference is this time Nikola Jokic doesn't have Jamal Murray. You know, and Michael Porter Jr. is not.
He hasn't missed the beat without it. To be fair, he's been putting up and still been holding up even without it.
You said James Clark was broken, and I don't know if you've been watching, Brian. he's back.
Dame time ain't getting out the first round. I got the Nuggets.
No ways. Listen, Brian, we can make this bet
I don't
off the
know.
scoop, but I'm saying the Portland Trail Blazers over the Denver Nuggets.
I'm not picking a winner, but I'm saying if Jamal Murray was playing, it's an easy win.
Boomy, get off the fence. How you want to stand on the fence?
No. I can't even pick one there. Because I have this heart for the Trailblazers, but I also love the Nuggets. And for me, like, if Jamal Murray was playing, I'm picking the Nuggets guaranteed. But he's
I know,
not
same.
playing.
I probably.
And so
Actually, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Those are 2
You wouldn't pick
teams.
the Nuggets with Jamal Murray playing?
No, for me, those are 2 teams that are just below being great. And listen, I've got Dame Dollar, man, and even Norman Powell coming in. They've got some really good pieces, and Carmelo Anthony doing his job on coming off the bench. I would still say the Trailblazers, they've got much more depth, you know.
My
Because
heart
for Jamal
wants
Murray
the Blazers to win.
The Blazers will win.
For Melo. My heart wants him to win for Melo, man. Like, I have this fantasy in my head about Carmelo being able to end his career.
This to me is the greatest scorer that has ever played the game of basketball. In my heart, that's what I believe, and that's the hill I'll die on. That is the hill I'll die on. So I think for Atlanta, New York, we said, oh, they were all over. We kind of have split opinions there.
But I think the Blazers are gonna go through only to get swept by the Lakers in the second round.
Where do the Bucks and the Knicks meet? If that's
the Bucks and the Knicks.
When do they meet if it happens?
They don't meet. So if the Knicks beat Atlanta, they're facing 76ers. It's Knicks 76ers.
No, the Bucks and the Nets, my man.
The Nets. Oh, second round.
If they both win in the second round together.
Yeah.
Oh,
the winner
man.
goes on.
Oh, man. Who do you have? That's an interesting matchup. That is an interesting matchup.
You know, previously I said
Nets.
the Bucks. Previously I said the Bucks. I see my Buddha's giving me more confidence here. I'm also going Bucks.
No, well, Buddha, come on.
I'm going Bucks. I don't believe.
I'm going Nets. There's no ways. I'm going Nets.
I think simply because the Bucks have more defensive depth. in this specific scenario. And if you watch the way they played each other, a couple of weeks ago, if I just look at that specific play, oh no, man, the Bucks are a good defensive team. They've got players who can come and shock you. The Bucks.
Okay, who do the Bucks have, Shine, that has had playoff success? Because at the end of the day,
Have you
the
seen the
playoffs are a
Bucks
brand new
against the Nets
season.
recently?
No,
That's what I
Giannis
just
has
said.
not. No, guys, we all acknowledge that the playoffs is a whole new season and that the playoffs are a different animal and that it requires a different level to play well in the playoffs and to be successful in the playoffs. So that's why I'm asking the question, Shine. Who on the Bucks roster has had significant playoff success?
Okay, before anyone comes for me, I love KD first and foremost, right? That's the same guy who we saw lead a team.
See that disclaimer? It's already going downhill. I know you're about to go downhill. I know your disclaimer.
That's the same guy who choked when he was up 3-1. All right? We have Kyrie Irving, who without LeBron, you've seen him choke. James Harden, I'm not even going to mention because you guys know his resume. So who is leading that team? Whereas you look at the Bucks know they have a chip on their shoulder. 2 years in a row, they're top of the East, only to get properly swept on both occasions. So they're not coming out.
But you're answering my question with a question. I need you to answer my question first.
Yeah, you see, y'all wanted to put me on the show. You see what happens when you want to put me on the show? Come at you.
The Bucks have Drew Holiday, who I think is a good two-way player. They've got Giannis. Even though we say he's not a good
in the playoffs, Shine. The parameter is success in the playoffs.
Boomy, Luka Doncic has had no success in the playoffs, but you are backing him. It is a big deal. It is not the biggest deal.
That's what I think.
Because how old is Luka?
That's what I keep telling people, but they keep getting mad at me.
How old is Luka?
Luka in basketball years. Luka's like dog years. It's not the same as human years. Luka is 28
but this is
in
what
basketball.
I'm saying. So
my man is a grown. That man is in his peak.
I'm gonna be afraid of Luka because Luka in his first playoffs at like 20 was incredible. Giannis is how old and has had how much success. This is what I'm saying. So it's not even comparable. Luka not having playoff experience is not comparable to anyone the Bucks not having playoff experience, right? And so I'm gonna pick the Nets because at the end of the day they have playoff pedigree.
And 4 games is a real thing. 4 games is a real game changer. Sure, you could slip once, twice, maybe even 3 times. But eventually, I'm kind of with the
And Kyrie is learning Pep at beginning of games, so
I don't exactly believe in Steve Nash as a coach, so I don't know if he can make the adjustments when necessary.
What? You don't believe in Steve Nash?
As a coach?
Boomy,
no.
He's been there for 3 hours. How do you believe in him? He's got the least coaching experience in the playoffs than anybody else in the playoffs.
Listen, I'm not going to say I believe in him, but to not believe in him, to be definitive that he can't do shit, he hasn't had a chance to prove himself.
So how can you believe in him?
I think his players are going to be the ones making adjustments if anything because they're good.
Who hasn't proved himself? The same reason Shai doesn't believe in him is the same reason you believe in him. Y'all are just both weird. I'm not telling you.
Sorry, how many years into coaching was Steve Kerr when he won his first championship? We've seen
that was Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green years old.
But and Steve Nash has who? Kevin Durant,
Fair enough. I hear what you're
and
saying.
James Harden.
I hear what you're saying, but that's why I said I don't believe in Steve Nash to make the adjustments the same way his players would. So it's going to be literally individual brilliance from KD, Kyrie, or James Harden. It's not going to be an adjustment.
I think just in terms of process, I feel like you can't really cheat the game. You can't cheat in sports. You can't cheat the game. You need to these guys have barely played together. In the playoffs, that's a bad time to have to go through the not TV. I think they have played a couple of games together, sure, but in terms of really understanding one another properly, I don't think 17 or less than 20 games is actually enough. So I think they haven't gone through the process properly for long enough. And what happened to the Clippers in the playoffs, who had more time together, I feel like there's going to be a crumble somewhere. But also,
the quality of those Clippers players is not the quality of these Nets players.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
KD's a high percentage scorer. No matter what, even if he has a bad game, he's going to have a good game. You know what I mean? James Harden.
But to take it back a little bit, Brian, as well, I don't think you can measure coaches and players on the same parameter in terms of playoff experience, right? It's two completely different things. We've seen coaches be successful early on in their careers in the playoffs. We haven't seen that with players. We haven't seen players who've repeatedly done badly in the playoffs all of a sudden snap out of it. Like, it's a completely different measuring stick.
Yeah. There definitely is a big difference there. I agree with you.
Yeah,
So Nets.
Bucks.
Kevin
Nets
Durant.
in 6.
Kevin Durant.
Kyrie Irving, man.
Bucks, but KD is gonna ball out.
Bucks. Shai, you know what? Bucks. I don't think
Bucks,
they make it out of the Eastern Conference. I
Bucks.
do not believe the Brooklyn Nets
They're not coming
make it
up.
out of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
I feel like they can't. Defensively, they don't have the answers for anybody. Not even that they don't have the answer for the Lakers or some of the big teams. I feel like on any given night, they could let Giannis go for 50 or Chris Middleton go for 35 or Drew go for 30 as well. Either one of those are a great night by a guy who shouldn't be doing that and does it. And then the support from somebody else. So I really feel like there are too many holes. But also, they have the highest. I think what's your boy Joe Harris? He got the highest 3-point percentage or something like that. Or he's statistically the best shooter this season compared to Tony Snell with that 58% from 3 of 10 shots or something.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because whatever team is winning is coming from the West. That's the unfortunate part. Like, whoever comes out the East, they're not winning a shot.
Yo, does anybody see a version where Dallas gets out of the Western Conference? Anybody?
No, I'm not convinced.
No. Yeah, no.
All right.
Because just pound for pound, no.
And there's no way around the Lakers. I think that's the only thing. There's no one that can. If there was a team that could eliminate the Lakers, I think Dallas would eliminate that team. But I don't think Dallas is actually going to beat LA. It'll be a lot though. It'll be a stressful 7 whole games. But I think in a game 7, like my boy Shai, I got always back LeBron James when it comes down to it.
One conclusion.
Chris Paul and the
Chris
Suns
who?
come out here and
Do what?
shock the Lakers.
Who?
You guys have to worry about the Grizzlies tomorrow, first of all, for me. Don't come telling
Chris
us
Paul
about
has
in the
never
playoffs.
experienced LeBron James in the NBA playoffs. He's going to be shocked. He does not know what's coming.
And they're gonna cancel their summer
I'm just
plans.
saying, right? You think the friendship's over?
Yeah, no, not these holidays at least. They're gonna go on separate trips and then they're gonna meet each other next year.
Yeah, Chris Paul gets very physical and emotional on the court, so I think he's gonna go at LeBron and he might, he's gonna chip on his shoulder. I think
he's gonna
Chris
worry
Paul
about
was
his hamstring first of all. His hamstring always lets him down. That's what he's got bigger issues there.
Listen, Spoo just made a great point about how the last time Dallas won, no one saw it coming either. I mean, no one saw Dirk coming the last time.
That's a good point, but not this time.
You know who Dirk went through? LA, OKC, San Antonio, Miami. You could not have gone through a tougher route to that. He went through every single great team in that 3 or 5 year span. That stretch was ridiculous. It wasn't just a Miami Heat thing. Those guys beat every single team that was supposed to win. Okay, Lakers lost. Fine. Okay, Spurs lost. Okay, fine. OKC. Okay, OKC lost. Miami. Dallas? That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I still don't believe that.
I'm just saying, so you guys are saying Eastern Conference Final is 76ers and Brian, you're saying 76ers and Bucks? And put me 76ers and Nets.
What are you saying?
I don't think the 76ers are getting there.
I said 76ers and Bucks.
Who's beating the 76ers?
Boston.
I don't think they're getting there.
New York.
Okay, but who's beating it? Who's beating it? The route is
I
kind
don't
of...
know.
Not Boston.
Fair enough. No, look, there's times when you just feel... There's times when just in your heart you're like, nah, not these guys.
I don't
you just
see
believe.
it, I don't see it.
Washington or Pacers. Come on.
I disagree with you, Bumi. I think they've got the easiest route from all sides.
Honestly.
Who do you think is in the NBA Finals? That's the biggest question, because I think we'll probably look at this again in the next couple of weeks. Who do you have for NBA finalists?
Lakers, 76ers.
I think we get what we've been waiting for. Lakers, Bucks. I think we get what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, that's gonna be easy for the Lakers. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yo, that will
Shut.
be
It doesn't
easy
matter.
for the
Whoever comes out the West is
Yo,
winning. We know that for
Whoever
sure.
wins the West
I'm
wins
not.
the
but if they
championship.
play Bucks, bro, that's oh my god, that's easy, bro.
You're very disrespectful,
I'm not.
bro. Your respect for
I'm
LeBron
not
James is
picking.
just disrespect for every other player in the NBA. It's crazy. You don't see anyone else.
Bro, it's gonna be ridiculously easy. That's all I'm
A
saying. Because also
foregone
remember,
conclusion.
most of this Laker team has playoff experience, championship experience, and the core players are pretty much still there. You know, and then you have it's too easy.
You have
If
Anthony
not,
Davis picking up 2 rebounds again.
but you
Look
saw
at
what
my
he
man.
did.
Lakers in
Wonder,
3.
bro. Can the producers mute this man? How do you mute someone on in the stage? How do you do this in the crowd? It's mad. Yo, look, I think overall we've got an interesting night of basketball. When is Golden State playing? Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We there? We're watching that one, right? Boomy, you gonna be there watching your
I'm there.
I mean,
7
of
and
course.
8, 7, 8.
Yeah,
And I
listen,
mean, it's
we're getting the dub
3 a.m.
tomorrow, and we're moving
No
on.
work on Saturday at least.
Yeah, you see, there we at least get away with it. Well, I was dying today at the office. I was dying.
Yeah, of course. It's our
Anyway,
well,
yo,
that's the price.
Boomy, shout out for your time. We appreciate you joining us. It's been
Thank you for
good to
having
hear
me.
from a Golden State that sometimes you just need to have a balance between winners and losers. And I'm just playing. Thank you for joining us. We hope to have you.
I'm
Boomy,
gonna
this is
come
the
back
final.
when.
You can't help it. Oh man, Boomy,
Also,
see,
all the bets that we couldn't make here, we gotta make in private. That's all I'm saying.
Boomy, you will lose your 10-day contract when you were trying to sign out and you're out here still trying to get a word in. It's my time now. Now, for real, Boomy, thank you for joining us. It's been great. We hope to have you back soon. And we hey, production.
Wow,
Hey,
man,
come on. Hey, come on, man. Hey, come on. What's
I
hey?
love it.
We apologize to everybody that had to see that. That's the grind. Anyway, like, subscribe, follow us, show us some love. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you all in a couple of days. Peace.